We about to get it in. Barbecue, charcoal, biscuits, and ice. I got my lawn chairs ready. The weather is quite nice. We about to tailgate shake. I'm ready. Are you ready? Tailgate shake. I'm ready. If you're ready. Get it in. We about to get it in. Get it in. Get it in. We about to get it in. Get it in. We about to get it in. The way the tailgate shake. We about to get it in. Barbecue, charcoal, biscuits, and ice. I got my lawn chairs ready. The weather is quite nice. We about to tailgate shake. I'm ready. Are you ready? Tailgate shake. I'm ready. If you're ready. Get it in. We about to get it in. Get it in. Get it in. We about to get it in. Get it in. We about to get it in. The way the tailgate shake. We about to get it in. Barbecue, charcoal, biscuits, and ice. I got my lawn chairs ready. The weather is quite nice. We about to tailgate shake. I'm ready. Are you ready? Tailgate shake. I'm ready. If you're ready. Get it in. We about to get it in. Get it in. Get it in. We about to get it in. Get it in. We about to get it in. The way the tailgate shake.
AJ, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Rye?
Oh, nothing. Getting ready to watch this college football championship game here on the old Inside Tailgating YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
Did you make any bets?
I did. I got some skin in the game.
I want the one would you say you had TCU to score the first touchdown?
I did. Yeah, that's actually not the favorite. I went against the grain. It was actually Georgia is favored to score first. For those who don't know, Ohio now has legal sports gambling. So for all you degenerate gamblers in the state of Ohio, get on it, man. It's fun, man. These apps are just so cool. They are, and I love in this world. They really push. Be careful when you gamble. Just make sure, call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem. And I'm well, maybe if you didn't make it so damn fun, it's like, and you're just not throwing out free money to people like these apps are, which is, it's crazy, man. It's so, now I don't have I'm not throwing thousands, especially
since $5 a bet.
Yeah. I can't remember I think my biggest one was 50, and it was for TCU to score the first touchdown. And that's just kind of a coin flip. There's not really, you can't really, I don't know. You can't really determine who's going to score first realistically, especially in a championship game. Who knows?
I did not see it on my FanDuel. It didn't have a team to score first. Like there was a lot of players. Maybe I missed it, but I got an odds boosted one for TCU to cover.
Yeah.
And the over and hit the over. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I got $8 on the line here. I win, man. That's $8.
Hey, man.
That's a McDonald's drive-through trip.
Damn straight it is. That's an Uber ride.
I'm fine with that. I don't care. I know nothing about these teams, by the way.
So obviously, all I know is that Georgia was able to win right at the ball drop on New Year's Eve. Just Julie TV going, watching the ball drop, and we're watching the ball drop, and then we have Ohio State getting ready to kick a field goal to win the game to go to the chip, and then right as you're going 5, 4, 3, kick is up, and it couldn't have been more way left that I've seen it. I'm like, oh wow, happy New Year.
I remember I was over my friends watching that, and I'm just sitting there like, boy, this is such weird timing, and I was intoxicated, so I'm trying to manage both. And then I saw that kick go that way, and I went, well, that is such poor timing. Good thing I don't really care for either way, but I feel bad for the people that do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't live and die by college football because listen, I live and die by too many other sports. My heart and mind, I can't take living and dying by I think my limit's like 2 to 3 sports. Like I live and die by the NFL, by the NBA, baseball to a certain extent, especially in the playoffs. I can't fit college football in there. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. It's fun to watch.
I tried. And I did. I tried. I'd like get into Oregon for a little bit, but
I remember you
right,
being a Ducks fan.
Can't. Yeah, I still got some Ducks gear laying around here too. So if I thought about like there's a little part of me that's like you should wear it. I'm like, no, they're not. I would.
Yeah, I was gonna wear my Ohio State shirt, and then I was like, why are you pretending? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So
this is a pajama shirt. This is what I wear.
Same, yeah. I'm wearing an old Cleveland Indians shirt too.
Yeah.
I'm wearing basketball shorts. This is my bedtime attire.
I did try to make myself a little studio here. I put the Cavs towel.
I like that. I like that. See, I live in a house with a female, so you have a mixture of this is my Browns blanket, but then you can see some lovely home decor behind me. So that's the that's the mix.
Well, we're doing good. That's as far as I can tell. So
you can hear me okay? You can see me okay? Everything's good? Good.
You seem fine to me.
Good.
There was a brief period of time where it didn't sound great, but I think that's just your internet.
Possibly. I switched to just LTE, so we should be good now. I live out in the sticks, so LTE is what I have to stick with.
Yeah. No, you're out there. I'm in Cleveland. I'm in the big city.
The CLE, baby.
The CLE over here.
Oh man, yeah. I guess this is going to be a good game. I mean, it's a chip. I mean,
it is.
It's
a big deal. It's a huge deal. I mean,
yeah.
I did see. So since we're a tailgating company here, we were trying to find maybe if there was like a tailgate party going on for any of the teams.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
Yeah, tailgate there.
Nope. How about that? That's so like Los Angeles.
Sounds like an LA thing. Like,
yeah,
we won't have that here. It's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know why. That's just for whatever reason.
You want a charcuterie board party? Have at it. But none of this tailgating, you call it.
Oh God, that's all right. I also made myself for home gating because we do a lot of that too. So I made myself a nice hamburger, but I used a bagel. I got fancy. Okay. So I'm over here making fun of that. I'm like, I got a hamburger on a bagel with some Kraft mustard on it.
There you go. Ooh. So anytime I watch a game, like we're there at SoFi tonight in LA, and anytime I watch, whether it's like the Raiders or even the Falcons and the Chargers or the Rams, I just look at these dome stadiums and I'm like, God damn, am I jealous? Like, they are just so nice. And then I went to the Browns game on Christmas Eve, silly me, against the Saints. And I was just like, I'm sorry. I love it, but I'm like, this place is a dump. I'm like, we need a dome. We need a new stadium. I mean, we're going on, 25 years now of the same.
That stadium's not very good.
I'm done. It's time. Like, look at this place. Look at this stadium.
Oh, I've not this one. What was the other new one? The one in Atlanta, like the Georgia actually plays in?
Yeah.
I was down there before, and that thing, it looks like it landed from a different planet. It doesn't even look like we built it. You know how people get real confused about the pyramid? They're like, "What? How the shit?" That's
aliens.
how I felt about this place. Like, I looked at this place and I went, "We made this? Like,
right.
Your ass. Where's the ancient aliens guy?" Like,
right, exactly.
And we got two big bleachers sitting by the lake that you can't even.
Right, we're like, well, we're gonna put these big dogs out, and they're gonna. Yeah. Oh,
well, I want to know. You went to that stupid game.
Yes,
What'd you do?
did.
Tailgate in your car? Is that what you were doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this was my brother's idea. He was like, I put it in his head on accident. I didn't mean to. I was like, hey. If we could, would you want to go to that? This is before they were talking about the winter vortex. They're like, I was like, hey, would you want to go see the Browns on Christmas Eve? He's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then I checked the weather and I was like, forget that noise. And then he wouldn't let it go. He's like, Aaron, let's go. Like we'll talk about this the rest of our lives. And I was like, yeah, but what if they lose? He's like, I know it'll be upsetting, but like we could tell people we saw the Browns on Christmas Eve in negative 20-degree weather. And yeah, so we did it.
What is that? Well, you did. I mean, you did. Didn't you stay the whole time? Didn't you?
We did, yeah. So I mean, it started off nice. It was because like here's what I'll tell you what happened. It was straight up no rules at this point because it was so cold that after the first series, the announcer got on the PA and he said, anyone who is up in the upper levels or even in the mid levels, come down and everyone just close together like we're family here because it is way too cold for anybody to be up in the 500s or even the 300s. Like come down to the lower level. So it was nobody cared. Like you could have bought a $2 ticket and you could be sitting front row. So my brother and I were like 6 rows from the front and we were on not the what's it called? The dog pound, but the other side. We were on the
just the whatever that is.
Right. So those are just normal seats. And the way it started was we saw Deshaun Watson high step it into the end zone right in front of us. And I'm like, this is great. I mean, people are hugging each other. We're like, this is gonna be great. And I mean, at the half, it was 10-3, and I'm like, that's it. That's all it needs to be, 10-3. Just hold them. Well, we all know what the final score of that game was. So,
yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, but and then you look at like SoFi. It's a beautiful stadium with a dome, and if we would have had a dome, who knows what kind of game that would have been. And yeah, I don't know. It's just a really nice stadium that I'm super jealous of. And you said you've been to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many years ago was it that you were there?
Oh, this was probably 4 or 5.
Okay, so
say 17 or so, something like that.
Beautiful stadium. So that's 5 years ago. So imagine what Vegas looks like now, because they just built that.
These things they're building now are just they're otherworldly.
Right.
So I would like something like, I mean, it doesn't. You know who has a really nice place that would make sense for Cleveland? Go look at what Indianapolis built.
Yes.
That thing, it's really nice. It's classic looking. It's still a dome. Doesn't look like a spaceship. Like, maybe we could get some kind of nice looking, maybe even make it look rustic like they did in Indianapolis, and we can put a dome on it. So then maybe they could actually use the building, the other 6 or 7 months out of the year when you can't step outside here.
Right, exactly. And I want to know though, are you just putting it right where it is, just right there on the lake, or are you? Because they've talked about moving, but I don't know where you're going to move this team.
It would be right above where I live. Like the Ohio, I guess Ohio's like, so, when you're behind Tower City where like the post office is, and then there's the river's there, and then there's all that nothingness.
Yes.
I think they were talking like around there.
Really?
Yeah. Which would be cool for me because if I'm still living here in 20 years.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I'd be able to. I mean, I can walk now. I only walked home from one Browns game, and that was last year, 2 years ago now.
I remember.
We lost to the Raiders, and I just completely pissed off power walked like a maniac home.
Do that a lot.
Yeah.
After games. Yeah, I've noticed now after at least the last couple Browns games I go to, there's a lot of "Let's go Cavs" chants on the way out. So that's what it's been the last couple games I've gone to.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Or even I think the one I went to, this was during the 1-15, 0-16. It was the then Indians were in the playoffs, so it was a lot of "Let's go Tribe" on the way out. So,
Yeah. All right, what do we?
I already did the coin flip. I wasn't paying attention to who won.
I didn't have any money on that.
Oh, geez, look at these guys.
You know what? I don't think it's ever like I don't anticipate TCU winning this game, but it'd be cool if they did.
All right, TCU's getting the ball first. Wait, right?
Yeah, you need them to score so you win money, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was worried about that. Please score first. I mean, it's your opening drive.
I'm pissed off I couldn't find that one because now it's looking really good. Although I got the over, so I don't care. Just score points. Score over 53.5. I think that's what it was. The special was.
I saw mine was 63.
This was a special. No, yours is that is right. They gave you like odds on some. It's almost like a parlay. Like several things have to happen. But then I bet the regular over just to 60.
Mm-hmm.
I did that too. Hedged in my bets.
Nice. I have some buddies in a group chat that one of them lives in South Carolina, the other two live in Florida, and it is not legal in either one of those states. And so they were. I don't watch college football a ton, so they were kind of giving me some bets that they would place on. And I told them, I said, guys, I know we like to mess with each other a lot. I said, this is money we're talking about, so if you're just screwing with me and just giving me bad bets, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm not here for it, guys. This is money we're talking about. And my one buddy was like, Aaron, if anything, we are just envious of you because none of us can do this. Like, now it's legal in Ohio. Come on. False start. Offense, Jed Wills probably. Left tackle.
Football teams miss. Listen, I know that this is supposed to be college, but if you hear us just randomly start yelling about the Browns, that shit happens after our season.
Listen, we were complaining. We started off the rip complaining about something that the team has no control over, and it was the stadium. Like, we just find anything with this team. All right. 1st and 15. Come on, TCU.
Oh, man, he was wide open. Got to make that play if you want to hang with these dudes.
I honestly can't believe. So who makes this decision? SoFi that says you're not allowed to tailgate? Was that?
Probably. I mean, my guess is it's like probably something to do with the city. That sounds like a city ordinance to me.
That's stupid.
It is.
I kind of like these TCU uniforms. Kind of like that purple and white. That's pretty cool. It would be cool to see TCU win, but Georgia also, Nick Chubb, you know.
This might be the last year he's here.
Him in 95, probably. Come on. Oh! Well, good thing even if I do lose all my bets I currently have placed, at least it was free money. It wasn't my actual money. I'd be more stressed if it was my actual money. So Georgia's going to get the ball now.
So, I mean, they just got to get a stop. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I know. I was really hyped that they got the ball first, too. It really had me excited. I don't even think they completed a pass. Oh, great, Georgia. Beautiful field position. Nice work, punter.
They kicked the crap out of that one.
Yeah. What they got out there,
Listen, it might be a little bit. It might be one of those things where, like, it takes TCU an entire half or a quarter to settle down. Could you imagine, like, you're going up against Georgia, which is one of the powerhouse college football program, and you're TCU, you're coming out of there. I don't think I think it was like 1933 was the last time.
That's insane.
The Horned Frogs or whatever they are had an NCAA championship in football. I mean, that's how many. Who are you playing in 1933? Yale and Harvard on a loop.
All right. False start. Offense. Number 78. Joel Petonio. How's that money, Joel?
Great. It spends
wonderful.
Yeah. It doesn't decrease in value because I didn't play one. Actually, he wasn't bad.
Nah, he wasn't bad. Just that. I heard Jed.
I did not think they were going to give Conklin money. That was for sure. Not that I'm like,
I don't know if
I
I wasn't mad, but I wasn't exactly thrilled with giving him that money. I heard Jed Wills described, and I like Jed Wills. I want to throw that out there because I actually do genuinely like him, and I want him to be good because he was a 10th overall pick, for God's sakes. But I heard him described as a sandbag with a helmet on this morning. So that's pretty much what he was this year.
I heard a few interesting.
I heard Play-Doh with shoulder pads.
Well, I think he should be a guard. I think they should just.
That's why I wasn't happy with them
giving. Is their best players are all guards, and that's who they're paying. So like.
Right. That's why I wasn't happy with the Conklin deal because I was like, well, you could have moved Jed there, and then maybe I don't know.
We must not have too much faith in that idea.
I like James Hudson, and I don't feel like he gets a fair enough shake. Clearly, they think otherwise. You know, Mr. The man in San Francisco who gets to make all the decisions but never has to pay any consequences.
It's a good life.
Oh, yeah. All right, Georgia. Oh, flag. Do you think this college ref, who's clearly like the chief or whatever they call him, that dude's like 78 years old. Did he have aspirations to just be a college ref, or?
Yeah, I guess this is it.
This is like it for him. This is the ceiling.
I mean, you're doing the national championship, so I guess.
Yeah, but do you want to be an NFL ref?
Referee. You're the. He might do. I don't know. I don't know what these guys do. I know what they do in the NFL. Miss calls.
A lot. That face mask yesterday. Ooh, man.
They gave us one back though. They had to.
They did. That was it. Roughing the passer call.
Yeah, that was not roughing the passer, but that was a face mask. So, oh well.
I do think
that's league wide. That's just not us. I know Browns fans for whatever reason get in a tizzy about that. I'm like, you watch enough NFL games that you see calls like that all the time. The only problem is you don't have any emotional investment, so you don't care.
Right.
So, like, if the Browns get jobbed on a bad face mask, you're ready to rage. But, like, if you were watching the Colts and Lions and that happened, you'd be like, boy, that sucks.
That's a team. That's a team that deserves to be in the playoffs. I'll tell you that much.
Lions, well, you know who screwed them? Old
number 6
or 14 or whatever the hell he is.
Whatever number he'll be, who knows? Oh, Baker.
That's
See, they're going to interview Brian Flores, or we requested to interview Brian Flores.
About that.
I was too. There were 2 guys I wanted, and right off the rip, 1 and 2, the Browns requested to interview the guy from New England, and then Brian Flores. I said, I like both those guys. I like both those guys. I do kind of feel like Joe Woods was kind of the scapegoat. I mean, I don't.
His job though either.
He wasn't, but you got a culture problem, man. You got a real bad culture problem.
That does stem from poor coaching, though. Like, if players seem to get restless when they know the coaches can't put them in a position to succeed. So we'll see. We'll see. Listen, Kevin's out of – look at this. Kevin's out of strikes, man. That was it. Like, getting rid of the coordinator is it.
Yeah.
Next, it's you. Like, they got rid of everybody else. They got rid of Odell. They got rid of Baker. They got rid of, this guy, that, like, the odd defensive coordinator. It's like
yeah, you're next, pal.
The 9 lives of Stefanski are starting to teeter away.
Well, there goes my $50. That wasn't mine anyways, so who cares?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pretend like I don't care.
The over. Not good for me having Georgia or TCU cover.
That is good for me also having the over because I did bet on the over. So
how about this? We'll just root for points.
Let's go points. Yeah, I think I was talking to my cousin today, and he was like, he goes, "Good for you for taking the over." He goes, "I can't stand when people bet on the under. Like, do you not like fun?"
I hate taking the under is like you're just asking to be bored.
Right? Why would you do that? Who does that? Like, yeah, I'm going to take the over. I want points. Points are fun.
Yeah, what do you do? Like, what do you want to do?
I
Like,
really hope
three
it's
yards in a cloud of dust. It's like,
I really hope it's a 17-7 game. It's like, what?
Yeah, 13-9. Just
13. Sounds beautiful.
Couldn't be happier. Now, yesterday in the Browns-Steelers game, I was really tempted to take the under, and I think it went over. So, luckily I didn't.
Boy, you should have won that game. Kenny Pickett really did not look that good.
Yeah, he makes throws when he's done it like every Steeler game I watch. He doesn't do anything, and then if there's 2 or 3 minutes left in a half, he turns into Dan Marino out of Pitt. You're like, I don't get it.
Yep.
So God forbid he actually figures everything else out because he can do the hardest part already.
Yeah. I heard this morning somebody on the radio say that they had talked to somebody who's in Pittsburgh, who's like a Pittsburgh radio guy, say they think Kenny Pickett will have like a Derek Carr career, which, depending on how you look at it, it's been good and it's been bad, but not necessarily great. It's not going to be like, they don't think it's going to be like Ben.
No, but he can
play.
He can play.
But you got some tape on him now, so we'll see.
We better worry about the guy that we paid a lot of money to who doesn't look like an NFL quarterback right now.
Yeah, well, that's why old Mr. Stefanski there, you got a lot of work to do this offseason, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so glad I have my TV muted. It's a certain restaurant's commercial that is literally haunting my dreams that I can't stand. And it's in every single commercial
Is it
break.
the BK one?
Oh yeah.
In the Whopper song?
Yeah. We're not getting paid. Who cares? Yeah.
Listen. They sang this damn song one night. I didn't even know what happened. Next thing you know, it was at my house. I friggin' autopilot DoorDashed Burger King after hearing this song at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I see Deshaun Watson throw a pick, and I'm just sitting here stewing in my chair, and it's chicken. I'm just like, you mother effers. How dare you?
That's the perfect time that I would want to see a Burger King or any kind of commercial for food is after I see failure from my team.
No.
Show me food. Ooh, I wish I had that. I got wings. I got wings for the game. Yesterday I was all excited and we didn't win, but at least I had wings.
Right.
Well, we got to see here if maybe TCU can get us some points. We're rooting for buckets, man. It's like
correct.
The NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously you divide it because it's like the over was 63, so that means it's like 31 and a half or something that teams have to score, and I'm like, all right, it's college football for God's sakes, and it's a national championship game. I think you can score 31 each, no doubt. That's how it works, right? I'm not talking out of turn, am I?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm trying to get. We might have another guest coming on.
Oh boy! Don't tell me.
Who does the bougie sports? She might be joining in.
Okay.
So I apologize. I made you talk. I was over here in my own.
You're fine. I was hoping you're gonna have some guests. It's fun not to know though. Just spring them on me.
Sorry.
It's all good. Oh, geez. Come on. Offensive line, what happened? I like that they're changing now where they're playing this game because I'm pretty sure, wasn't it for a while, it was always in Georgia?
Seems like it was for a pretty long time.
Yeah, I like that they're changing it up now. Kind of like what they're doing with the Pro Bowl. They're changing that up now every year. That's another thing about getting a dome. Like, you get a dome, you could get the Pro Bowl. That's cool.
I'm for a dome. I do not want to hear, I'm tired of hearing about football's outdoors and it's cold. Dude, you're sitting on your couch. I don't care if you played when you were 12 years old or 15 in high school and you got beat to death by some coach and you think that's football. We don't play like that anymore. It's 2023. We want indoors. We want to get You're paying these top tier athletes, the best in the world, a lot of money, and you go play in minus 20-degree weather. Oh, good. Did you really get your return on investment that day?
Yeah.
When nobody could stand up because some dude who watched football in the 60s still thinks we got to watch stuff in the snow while he's at home in the heat?
Right. Yeah, I used to be.
When you went to the -20 game, how was the quality of play?
It's terrible. It was absolutely awful. You were a moron if you took the over in that game.
I mean, if you want to, I get it. Like fans, sometimes it's fun to be out there. Go into the woods. Go do something. You can be outside in the cold, dressed goofy, doing
You
a bunch
weirdo.
of like God. We can't have a dome because football is Cleveland. We don't win nothing.
AFC North football.
Yeah. Oh, the division we haven't won ever since it's been its inception.
How about the fact that we haven't swept the Steelers since 1988?
Uh-oh. This is not the start that you probably wanted if you're TCU.
No, definitely not. Hang on to the ball. He did what the heck? He just kind of gave it up. He's kind of like, here you go. That wasn't even like it got knocked out or anything. I think I'm ahead of you a little bit, so wait till you see the replay.
Oh, wow, that is bad.
Yeah, he just kind of
that's not ball security that you need for the national championship of football.
Right. That's kind of just like, here you go, sir. Now they got some weird gold shoulder pads on this dude.
Is that like their it's like the old Legion of Doom Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Spikes.
Yeah. Probably stole that from the Cavs and the gold chain.
Our chain's awesome.
That chain is cool. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong.
Double reverse going on now.
Yeah.
Somehow that only gained 7 yards, so that's good.
I really need TCU. We both do. We both need TCU to score some points.
Hey, if Georgia puts up 65 on their own, so be it.
That's true.
I think taking that parlay that had TCU covering looks poor right now.
Yeah. I had a feeling, and I didn't really think about it. I thought maybe they come into this game, and it's kind of like the Rams when they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Is this going to be too big of a moment for them? Are they going to get caught up in the hype of being in the national championship game, and is Georgia just going to roll over them? That's kind of how I had and so far, that's what it seems like,
Yeah.
Do you remember that was that 13-3 game where I remember they showed Jared Goff on the sideline during the national anthem, and he looked like as a little kid on his first day of school, going to a new building, just terrified.
Just look across, and Tom Brady's got this crap-eating grin on his face, just
right. Yeah, it's like,
what are you doing, Jared? What are you doing here? He's like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
No.
I have a guy who feeds me my plays in my helmet.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I got going for me. Oh, man. All right. Playing a little defense. Good for you, TCU. That was a good pass, though. Just broken up.
Excuse me while I do some engineering.
You're good. So we got a 3rd and 7 now. Oh, doing a little switcheroos. Let's see.
Remember when we used to work at the radio station and people would do all this stuff for us? That was cool.
No, I don't remember that. I remember doing everything ourselves.
Yeah. Must have been thinking about a dream I had.
I remember having to hey, can you this isn't working. It's oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's
I was probably thinking about when I actually did the TV broadcasts for the Cornhole League is they actually did have people do stuff for you. That was wild.
They're here, call this person. He might be in Sharon, though, so good luck. It's okay.
You're I just wanted to do, what a mistake.
I'm sorry, I needed something.
Oh, I see what we're doing here.
So Georgia's settling for a field goal, which doesn't do well for points, obviously. But at least it's 10-0 now. All right, come on, TCU. You've had your weird.
You gotta get warmed up here.
Yeah, let's go. Come on. Oh, now I got a Taco Bell commercial, and damn, that looks good too. Damn you, ESPN.
I don't think anybody's been on this old Instagram here for quite a while.
I like that little jingle you played there.
Did you? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're about to get it in.
Barbecue charcoal if you're tailgating, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some tailgating
so
eventually. Like the idea is to go do this like while we're in a tailgate lot, but
that sounds like fun, man.
We're in a city where there's tailgating's over for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, we're done. We're real done.
You know what?
And the one time when we weren't done was the year where there was a pandemic going on, so nobody could tailgate.
Couldn't go anyway.
No.
Yep.
That's looking more and more like a fluke the further away we get from it, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're going in the wrong direction.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I heard Jim Donovan say it this morning. He said, 2020 was great, but boy, we're getting further and further from that. And I was like, oh, thanks, Jimmy. And Jimmy works for the Browns. Jimmy works, but I love that Jimmy's never afraid to he just says it how it is, man.
Oh, no, he doesn't. If he's when you get to that point,
yeah,
he's almost untouchable at this point.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Try and find somebody.
Not Bernie Kosar, though. God forbid.
Oh, no. 3 times a charm now. We have fired Bernie Kosar. Yeah, the more I looked into that, the more I was like,
come on.
The hell?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that, he should be allowed to break laws from, of your bargaining agreement or whatever, but, come on.
Leave Bernie alone.
That seemed a little ridiculous.
One more of those, please. Thank you.
What do you got?
Good. My waitress here giving me another drink. I'm sorry, my lovely girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it.
Exactly what you meant.
That's exactly what I meant. Yep. Oh, man.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done.
What do you got going on?
I don't even know. I'm trying to put an Instagram post up, and it's just did you log in here? Do you have a password? Oh, you need a code. Do you want to go get the code over here? Do you want to get it in your email? Do you want it on your phone? Do you want us to send a carrier pigeon? What do you want? I'm like, all I want to do. Oh, thank you. Too authentic or whatever they say, you need.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. Trust me, I'm for not having my info hacked, which seems to happen to me every several years. But
pretty soon they're going to be asking for a blood sample before you can log in.
Come back. Oh, it'll look like I hit they'll run that blood. It'll be like ding, 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 ding. It'll be like, wow. Bro, no way. That ain't no good.
Yeah, right.
There's too much nonsense in there. We can't.
Oh, wow. So they have a wild card game on okay, I thought it was just Saturday and Sunday. They got a wild card.
This is so cool that Tom Brady's first game's Monday night game.
What do you think's going to happen with him? First of all, just him in the playoffs. Do you think they're going to make any noise, or are they going to be first round exits?
Tom Brady did happen to play his best game of the year the week before. I mean, he only played a few games or a few snaps this past Sunday, but he looked great the week before. So my hope is that wouldn't you love to see it? I mean, I would. I know maybe not everybody else, but wouldn't it be cool if Tom Brady 9-8 looked down and out all year, went on one final run and just won it, and then maybe he would actually maybe retire, consider it.
Well, See, for you and me, yes, the majority. Oh, wide open. That's the Brown secondary right there, baby. That's that guy wide open.
Oh yeah. Let's see where the coverage breakdown was here.
Oh man.
Oh no.
What happened, Greedy?
Oh, look at that spin on him too. Too bad he didn't put any air under there, because
all right, TCU making some noise. Let's go. You couldn't have done this maybe on the first drive and win me some money?
Like, nope.
So, what I was saying was before that awesome throw and catch there. They just left that dude on an island. Just there you go. Take off, sir. What I was saying was, you and I are Brady guys. I love Tom Brady, and then especially when he had that Man in the Arena, which was on ESPN Plus, that took me over the top as far as my fandom for Tom. And I was like,
I've been on that for like 15 years. I'm glad
everybody. I know. Mine's probably been. I think it was when he won his 5th Super Bowl, or maybe 6th, is when I really jumped on board. I was like, this guy's just great. That's just what it is, and you have to appreciate greatness when it's there. And because I can't subscribe to the theory that people have where it's like the hatred for LeBron or Tom Brady. It's like, do you hate greatness?
Yeah, no, like, I get it.
Like, because when those guys are gone, the league's gonna look different. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron's gone. When Tom Brady's gone, I almost said Kobe, but when Kobe was gone, when he left, Alexa, she's just joining us, huh?
Hey, Alexa.
What do you want her to do?
What's up?
It's my fault. My whole house is automated, so my poor girlfriend has to turn off all the lights through a device.
The house is automated.
I live in like an old farmhouse that I've turned into like Fort Knox. So
I want to throw it through a window is what I want to do. There we go. Give me this.
For fans like you and I think it'd be cool to see Tom go do it again. But I think the mass majority of people are over it, are done with Tom. And they, for some reason, root for failure. Like when he was getting divorced, people were like, yeah. And it's like, that's because you look at a guy who's completely perfect. And the minute you find a flaw, you weirdos just celebrate it.
Yeah.
And like, it's like the guy's just great. That's just what it is. He's literally the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Just enjoy it.
He could be the greatest football player.
I'm surprised you didn't go to that game. I'm surprised you didn't go to the game when he was in town.
So, fun fact, I had a free ticket to go to that game. Oh, no, listen. It also coincided. Remember when I was having that birthday party up here I told you about?
Yes.
It was the night that AJ. I got up the next day at 11 o'clock with the intention of thinking I was going to go. There was no way.
Oh, I'm sure. I've seen you.
No way.
Yep. All right, so it looks like TCU is going to score. We'll see. 2nd and 5 at their 8-yard line, 7-yard line. All right. 3rd and a few inches here. Come on. I need the points. Let's go.
Need these points.
All right, just go for 2 every time. What? Yeah, just do it.
That's fine. Yeah, just run it up, man.
Yep. Oh, quarterback, touchdown. Nice, quarterback keeper.
think I'm almost done here. What was this
Okay.
been, about 45 minutes?
Just about. It's all good.
You take your time, Ryan. I'll handle the broadcast that you wanted to do.
That I'm not getting paid for. Just
hey, in line.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'd be more pissed if you were actually getting paid for this and just sitting here doing all the talking.
Then you'd feel like you're just back in Youngstown at Cumulus. You should be just fine with that.
That's true. That's true. All right, so TCU's on the board now. I will say, though, anyone who watched that Ohio State-Georgia game, listen, I don't want to rip too hard on Ohio State because obviously then the pitchforks will be out on me.
Yeah, and I think you kind of like them.
Here's the thing, and it's my same feeling with the Steelers. Like I like Ohio State. I like the football team. I just don't really like their fans. And the same goes for like the Steelers. Like I respect the hell out of the Steelers. I love Mike Tomlin. I wish Mike Tomlin was my coach.
I do like him.
I like him better than our coach. First of all, the dude just looks cool in general. He wears those aviators on the sideline, and he has that chain necklace with the cross on. And I'm like, that dude looks fly, first of all. And then he's just a motivator of men. He's a great coach. He's never had a losing season in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh just shits all over him. And their organization alone is like the standard is the standard, you know? And I respect the hell out of them. It's their fans. That's it. The fans are obnoxious and annoying, and they love to live in the past. They love to talk about 6 Super Bowls, even though most of them were only alive for 2 of them. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016, but boy, you would have thought that they're making championship or they're making Super Bowl runs every single year. And I just don't like them. And I feel like Ohio State fans are very similar. Like, you can't criticize Ohio State. You're not allowed to talk bad about them. Only they're allowed to talk bad about Ohio State, and they don't. They love to crucify coaches just because they can't beat one team. Like I'm surprised Ryan Day didn't have like a mob outside his house after that Michigan game. So I like the team themselves. It's just their fans are just a little bit. And my brother's excuse, because my brother likes Ohio State. He's like, you don't understand. That's just how it is across the board. Every college football team has those fans. It's all the same. And I'm like, yeah, but
They do.
I'm like, yeah, but I see it. Well, that's why if I lived...
Yeah, that's different. If you lived in Nebraska, you'd probably hate Cornhusker fans.
Exactly. Yeah, same thing if I was like in Georgia. I'd probably hate Bulldog fans, except for Nick Chubb, who's great. Yeah, I just they just annoy me. They're just obnoxious. But I get that. That's just college football. It's just how it is. But anybody who watched that game, boy, I'll tell you what, you had to have been feeling great up until that last second. I mean, you've had to have been feeling really good. And I really thought they were going to win that game. I really did. I'm shocked I'm very shocked that they're not in this game right now against TCU. And I think if it would have been Ohio State TCU, I probably would have given it to Ohio State. I probably would have.
At least it looks like we got a game here.
Yes.
So that's nice.
How about, so I just saw some pushing and shoving going on after that kick return. How about that Packers player pushing that trainer yesterday or whoever that was out on the field? Did you see that for the Lions?
I know he pushed somebody. I actually didn't see the video.
So it wasn't a player. It was like a trainer for the Lions. They were like helping someone. And the dude just literally pushed the trainer in the back.
Why?
I don't know. That's the weird thing. Like, he's just like, Ryan, it wasn't even like it was that could have been an accident thing. Like, the dude was just standing there and then he just pushed him. And then the trainer just
apologized for it today.
Oh, the kid, yeah, he was pretty, like, you watched him going into the tunnel and the kid's like crying. And I'm like, that's some Brown stuff right there. Like what the heck?
It happens everywhere. This is like sometimes, when fans get, and it's not just us. It's like when you live in the vacuum of what's only happening with your team.
Right.
You know, goofy crap, player unrest, bad coaching decisions does happen everywhere. The problem is when it keeps happening for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to have issues. It's just
Right.
when they persist, I don't think anybody's going to play defense today. I think we might be all right. We need to get one more. Let's try to get one more touchdown by the end of the first. Give us 24 after one.
That'd be nice.
I'm feeling good then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially since I've already lost my bet with TCU scoring first. Now I'm just rooting for points across the board. Anybody that can score, please score.
Yes, that's what we're after here.
And that's why I'm really happy Ohio made it legal to sports betting legal, because people like you and I who aren't the biggest college football fans, now we got some skin in the game. So now we can watch it and think, oh wow, this is fun because we got skin in the game. Now we got money on the line. And that's fun. And it makes me want to watch the game.
Because you got something to root for. We can root for points.
We can root for points, exactly. See, and I don't know if I'll ever bet. Besides, I mentioned to you earlier, I did make a bet on the Cavs tomorrow against Utah, just because I think that's going to be a game for Donovan Mitchell. I just don't know how often I'm going to be betting against or for my own team. Oh, another blown coverage, but this time it was the other way around.
Dude, it's college football. This is why there's no good corners in the NFL.
True. Now hold on a second. Denzel, well, wait a minute. Greg News, Well, Denzel Ward's a safety. Is there? Well, yeah, he's a safety. You good over there? You got everything figured out?
Yeah, good enough.
Okay.
It's fine. Like I was saying, it's a pilot. This is the pilot. This isn't really. This is kind of like it's like if you're going to be in a play for high school and you do the dry run before you actually tell people that there's a play or an opening day. That's what we're working on.
Yeah. I'm going to look forward to it when we do, especially like NFL games, because that's stuff we actually watch and that's players we actually know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to definitely get one for one of these games this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah, that dude was just wide open on his own island. I don't know how that happens if you're TCU.
But they just didn't have anybody playing in that area. Like, everybody was on somebody, and if you look, he comes out running this wheel route, and, like, that corner down there saw both of them and went, oh, crap. And it's just too many routes, not enough coverage.
Right. You know, there's a laundry list of people that my brother always wants to fight. And one of them is, for some reason, the quarterback for Georgia. I don't know why. When we were watching the game on New Year's Eve, anytime they showed that kid on the screen, my brother was just like, God, I want to punch that kid so bad. And I'm like, what's wrong with him? Because I just want to hit him. I just want to hit him. And I'm like, relax, kid. You don't even know him. You have no idea who that guy is.
He's young. You know, he's still got all that energy in him.
I know.
Fighting sounds like the worst thing in the world right now to me at 40 years old.
Did I tell you? Or I think I did. I don't know if I did. Did I tell you that we almost actually did get in a fight on Christmas Eve?
No.
Yeah.
With each other?
No, with a Saints fan. It almost happened. So here's what happened.
I know you were giving them crap. I couldn't make out your messages after a while.
Oh yeah. So here's what happened. We had a Saints fan sitting about 6 rows behind us, and at that point we were still winning. I'm pretty sure. And my brother just turns around and he's just like, double middle fingers, pal. Like, yeah. And I'm just like, Isaiah, maybe wait till we win the game. And he's all fired up. And I'm like, Isaiah, if we lose this game, you know that dude's he's gonna talk to us. You know that, right? And he's like, I don't care, go Browns, yeah, F you, and just losing his mind. And so then we lose, obviously. And this dude, by the way, he's not below us, he's above us, so we have to walk past him in order to leave. And he's not leaving. He's just sitting there with his Saints jersey, just
waiting,
just waving it around. He's talking crap to not just us, to other fans. And well, I kind of started it. He's like, yeah, and I was like, I literally got in his ear because everyone's cold and everyone's all covered up, and I just pulled my mask down that I was wearing, and I was like, your whole division is ass. And I say, my brother.
What a great comeback! Just telling a guy his division is ass.
And then my brother just screams, quit riding off the effing coattails of Drew Brees, you mother effer. And we just start walking away. And then the guy's like, you want to go? And I turn around and I go, you want to dance? Let's dance.
What is wrong with you?
I know. And then I said, so here's the thing. So this time, I guess it wasn't my brother. It was me because I was pissed. And I'm like, you want to dance? Let's dance. And Isaiah was like, yeah. So we both turn around and this guy starts walking towards us. We start walking towards him, and there's people in between us holding us back. And
you could have been on the news or a meme or
my brother looks at the guy and he goes, if it wasn't Christmas Eve, I'd be in a jail cell right now. And then
your brother could like you and I, we would trash talk like nerds. You want to dance? Your brother's like, I'm in prison. I spent Christmas in prison.
Yeah.
It's not really a different level to like.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy, man. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So, I thought you want to dance, let's dance. I thought that was
that's fine. It just sounds like something you would say, like
yep,
scripted movie stuff, and your brother's just a psychopath. That's
weird. Yeah. My brother's like, I'll kill you.
I'll ruin your whole family's Christmas.
I'll find your mother. It's like, geez,
whoa, dude, we're in a football game.
Yeah, my brother goes, he screams at the guy's face, if it wasn't Christmas, I'd be in an effing jail cell.
Which is great. Like, there's nothing to be said after that.
Yep. And then we both walked away. And he's like, swear to God, Aaron, let's go get that guy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Let's go. Can we just go home? It's Christmas Eve. And then, then the worst part, this scared the shit out of me. So we get back to my car. My car is, I don't turn the key. It's a button. My key fob froze.
Oh, that would be rough.
And for a second there, I couldn't unlock my car. And I was having like a full-on panic attack because I'm like, it's 4:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Eve, and it's negative like 18 degrees. Or I think it felt like negative 10 or whatever. I think it was like 8 degrees, felt like negative 10. And I'm like, I start losing it because I'm like, how the hell am I going to get home? Excuse me. Sorry about that. And so my brother was like, Aaron, just take the key out and unlock it. Like, that's all you got to do. Like, you can still take the key out of the fob part and unlock the door. And I'm like, but what happens when the car doesn't start? And he's like, why don't we just get in the car first and then we'll figure it out? So
out of the cold.
What's that?
Yeah, out of the cold.
Yeah, so I got in and I just start like rubbing the key fob in front of the button. And nothing's happening. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm literally just doing this. And then all of a sudden it just went beep, beep, beep. And I was like, oh, thank God. And I started it and I was like, we are not shutting off this car until we get home.
No, that was dangerous cold. That's like when electronics aren't working cold. That's not good.
Yeah, exactly. It was that cold. God, I wish we would have won that game. Actually, no. I'm glad we didn't win that game because some guys maybe would have kept their jobs. So
maybe not.
Yeah, like congratulations, you beat Andy Dalton.
Yeah, like I don't think that would have made anybody because you know what, we could have made the playoffs and then we would have went to Buffalo and they would have put 75 on us and then nobody would have. So
true.
It worked out.
I will say I've never become a bigger Miami Dolphins fans in my life than when I knew we were going to lose that game. I was like, well, Bring it home, Dolphins. Let's go. I wanted nothing more than the Steelers to not be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I was happy. Like, I was like, good job, Dolphins. And then there's just the part of me that's like, because, we couldn't do it. So thanks for taking care of our business
Since we can't.
We can't.
$17-7. All right. Second quarter.
I think we're on a good pace for this over.
I think so. It's probably not good. We're talking about how my brother, what a hothead he is. It's the same dude who's starting in the police academy in about a week, so that's fun.
I ain't going where the hell he's.
He's something. Oh, wow. Wow, I obviously wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize TCU was already punting.
Yeah. I figured if they got a couple more yards, they might have went for that, but you're almost asking for it.
Yeah. You think they should let more teams in this thing, or are you good with the 4?
I think we should just stay where we're at.
The 4?
Yeah, because after a while, then it's 6, then it's 8, then it's 6. I mean, I think at some point they could do it. Maybe they go to 6, give or do 5, give a team a bye, like an extra team in, and you could have, the number 1 seed gets a bye.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go more than 6. That's what I would say.
Now, do you get into college basketball at all, like March Madness, or is that not your?
I'll watch March Madness, but I'm more NBA pro. I don't get into college too much, but I mean, yeah.
See, I'm the same. I'm the exact same as you. I
just, I'd always watch. It's nothing against it. Just always watch like pro ball better.
We were talking about it yesterday. What our favorite theme is, and I think it was my sister's boyfriend said his favorite, because I said my favorite. I love the NFL on CBS. Just the do like that's awesome. And he was like, his favorite was the college football March Madness on CBS. The whatever the I can't do it, but I'm like, that one is pretty good. I never would have thought of putting that one in my list of favorite themes. Dorky shit like that.
I would say the old, and it's back now, the old NHL on ESPN theme was awesome, and it is back now.
What is that one?
It's like, I don't know. Go look it up, man. I'm into this. But I like that one. And then I do love, still to this day, they'll break it out on occasion. The old NBA on NBC theme.
Okay. Yes, that is good. Yes.
You can't beat that one. But yeah, I like the old NHL one, and then I like that one.
Yeah, I'm glad. I love the NFL on CBS. Like, there's just something about that.
Yeah, it's got that nice big.
Like, that's just.
Yeah, it fills up the room.
Right. I love the Sunday night. The Sunday night theme is good too. Good. My cousin really likes the Monday night theme, which that's a one I don't hear very often. The Monday night on for Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah, I usually miss it. I usually miss their open. Plus, I usually watch a lot. I like it.
You know what I wish more? I know Sunday Night Football is like their thing, but I wish more. I wish like Monday night would do it. I wish like where they do like the Aaron Rodgers, Cal, like I like that. I think that's cool. And like, because I don't know, like we talk about it, I'm not a big college football fan, so sometimes I'm like, oh, that person went there. Like, I didn't know they went to that school. I wish they could do that on other networks too. I feel like that's kind of like that's a Sunday Night Football thing. That's what they do. I don't even know if you're allowed to do that. But like,
they probably could. Maybe they just don't want it to look confuse who's on. I don't know. Lazy.
Yeah.
Don't want to do it.
Nick Chubb, Georgia.
Who was doing the one year they were doing the animated intros? It was like I think it was like a Marvel or a DC tie-in or something. Boy, was that cool.
I thought that was CBS, and I think that was that COVID, maybe?
It might have been. They had a lot of time on their hands.
Right. Because they couldn't film the actual guys.
That might have been it. We might be on to something.
I will say,
hit this damn thing for us, man.
Yeah. I will say I'm really happy that they started letting the press back in the locker rooms again. Otherwise, I don't know if you would have gotten that Jadeveon Clowney story. Because, man, that was something.
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about him coming back.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe. Hey, if they get in like Flores or somebody, and he's like, I want this dude, and he'll come back.
You described it pretty well when you were like, imagine if you're just like you're Mary Kay Cabot. You're like, oh, there's Clowney over there.
That's literally what happened. The funny part is I was making a joke.
Yeah.
And then I heard somebody talk. That's literally what happened. She was just in the locker room and he was there, and she was like, oh, well, we've always had a good rapport, so I'll just go say, hey, what's going on? And he's like,
man, fuck this team.
Thing on. Yeah, so.
Like,
so you want to promo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was straight up like the Miz on Miz TV. Like, you want to know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like he's cutting some heel promo in 1987, and Mean Gene Okerlund's like, you can't say that. Something just like whoever Hulk Hogan would be going against.
Andrew Barry, you get your ass out here.
I want you in a steel cage, brother.
This summer, Atlantic City.
It's not going to be big enough for the both of us.
That's what I'm calling. I'm calling you out, 95. I'm calling you out.
Yeah, he wanted him. He was like, no holds barred, me and you. Actually, then he was like, well, I'm not mad. I'm not saying that, I'm mad at Miles. I'm just pointing out that they're trying to spoon feed him the Hall of Fame.
Mary Cabbage is standing there with a recorder just.
We've done enough media, and I've been in that position, and I'm sure you have too, where you got to do an interview or you're trying to do something, and you're interviewing that person, and then all of a sudden you realize really fast that this is not the interview you thought you were going to get, and you do. You have that what? What should I? All right, well, I guess I'm in a different direction.
If you're Mary Kay Cabot, you're just going, well, there goes the rest of my night.
Yes.
Just,
well,
time to start writing.
Dude, she asked. She was like, do you want me to, can I report this? He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I heard her say, she's like, I don't have to ask if I can, because he's obviously doing this on the record, but she's like, I felt the need to ask him, do you want me to report this? And he's like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I do.
Put that out there.
When people want to leave here, they find really creative. I mean, you can go all the way back to the Niners coach now, Shanahan.
Oh, with his
spread together a PowerPoint.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get out of here if you want.
Some people have their dads post videos.
Yeah, you can do a low light reel.
Yep.
Oh, this is getting out of hand here.
Yep. Oh, good.
Good. Points. I mean, if we get 24, 21
I feel like
TCU, we should be good because Georgia should get 40, 50. There's nothing that suggests they're going to stop scoring.
Right. Yeah, I get to a point though where I'm going to need because I'm doing where I'm at. I'm on my phone, so I should have had an old school calculator. Just start subtracting points. Just all right. So it was 64. So minus 24, minus 7.
64? You bought too early.
What?
What was your over-under?
63.
63. Mine wasn't that high.
Mine
50.5.
Yeah, mine was high.
I waited because here's what you got to remember too is give it some time because when you have a high over-under like that, it's going to come down as kickoff approaches. So just wait.
Yeah, I did it at like noon today or whatever. So I was like,
it's too early. You don't need to be betting at noon because the lines move too much. You don't
right.
want to you cost yourself probably 3 points. I don't bet until it's about ready for kickoff. With my whole $5 I threw out there.
Right.
All 5. Oh, no, we don't. Nope. Get this shit out of here. Switching back and forth between accounts is nonsense. Settings. Account. What do we got going on here?
Well, while we're in a commercial break, I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
Go for it. I'll put you on mute. Go for it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We're back.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, good. How was the burger on the bagel?
It was fine. I wish I had the ingredients, which there's only 2. One of my favorite things to come out of McDonald's, right there with their double quarter pounder, is the steak, egg, and cheese bacon.
Oof.
Man alive. That to me is just, if you're talking breakfast sandwich, fat, whatever, it's the pinnacle. But
Yes.
so that sauce they put on, is basically just mustard, dill mustard with some mayo in it. That's it.
Really?
And I've made it before. Yeah, that's it. Dill mustard and mayo. That's it. And I wish I had dill mustard a while back. It's since expired and been thrown out. But that's the key, man. That sauce and those onions, that egg. God, I wish I had one right now. Man alive.
I'll tell you what, my go-to hangover meal is, it's not the steak. The steak is good. I get the sausage, egg, and cheese bagel, 2 hash browns, and a large Diet Coke.
That could do it.
And after a night of drinking, man, that night that you and I went to that Cavs game,
yeah,
woo, I had to work the next day.
Yeah, I can't believe you did that.
And I had to make a McDonald's trip. I was like, boy, what is this, a Saturday morning? It was like a Tuesday. And I'm like, I need my hangover meal. And it does wonders to you. I'll tell you what. The sausage, egg, and cheese bagel, 2 hash browns, large Diet Coke. Get that in my stomach. I was good.
Good to go. Or at least better.
Yep.
Fun fact about that night that I didn't know about until a few days later on Thanksgiving. So after we went to Harry Buffalo to meet my cousin and his buddy, and you left.
Yeah.
And I was still there with them.
Yeah.
Apparently, we went to the casino, and I have no concept of it.
No kidding.
And I don't think because when I saw my cousin again on Thanksgiving, he was like, yeah, we had no business walking into that casino. And I was like, what? And I just played it off like I knew. Yeah. And then so it turns out I went and checked my Uber receipts, and they picked me up from the Jack. So I was
nice.
So even at 40 years old, AJ, when you think you got a hang of it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, that over Halloween, I got.
That was a great story.
I've shamefully messed up on Halloween, and I like having a little fun, but I don't like when I'm completely out of control to the point where I can't even sit upright. Like I don't like that.
No, that's too much.
What's that?
No, I don't think I wasn't there. I was functioning. I just don't remember doing it. That's but I know what you mean. When you're literally sick, you can't walk. No, that's bad.
Yeah, this is going to be a bad time.
That's usually liquor. Liquor will do that. That's why I don't drink it. That's because if you pound liquor like that, and I've made the mistake tailgating, where you're just like, I'm going to drink whiskey today, not eat it. No, nobody needs to do that. You drink a light beer and be happy.
I saw this dude when I went to that Browns game. I always park at the airport at Burke. That's my go-to park.
Oh, that's the way to go. It is.
Yeah. That's where I
you can get just as drunk in Burke as you can the Muni lot.
Right. So I park at Burke, and the reason I do that is because when you go to leave, the key is you start heading east out of the that takes you to 90, and you can just jump on 90. And where I live on the east side, so I just got to start heading east. That's it. So that's nice for me. Anyhow, so my brother and I, we park at the airport. This dude, they pull up in this truck next to us, and they get out, and they're putting on their gear and stuff like that. The minute they're done putting on their gear, the only thing you can see is this dude's mouth, and he just takes a whole thing of Jack Daniels and just
dumps it.
And I'm like, that dude wants to be warm, that's for sure. And
but it doesn't work in the long run because you freeze because you have you're out. That's that's when you're gonna have a bad tailgate when you're slamming whiskey first, unless you're a complete over the top professional. And I'm I can drink. You've seen me drink. You can drink. I've seen you drink. So I mean, I wouldn't consider us lightweights, but slamming a bottle of whiskey before the game.
We do know someone though who I don't understand it, but they can
a lot of practice, buddy.
I've never like my grandpa I thought was a professional until I met someone we know and I was like,
oh, there's levels to these things, you know.
yeah. And I'm just like, I can't ever imagine trying to go drink with you, sir or ma'am.
Whoever that might be.
Like, I can't imagine. I would die.
I mean, I've kept up with that man several times, and it turned out to be like the most horrible mistakes I could have made.
One of my favorite, the one time, hey, this all relates to tailgating.
Heck yeah.
One of my favorites is you, me, and this person, and you were in the back seat of a car, and you were just hugging a 12-pack that you had somehow coerced the bartender in selling you at the end of the night. And you're just sitting there hugging. You don't have a drink in your hand. You're just hugging this 12-pack.
So happy to have it.
You're just so happy to have it. You're like, I can't believe I convinced that bartender to sell me this. And I was like, yep. Oh, man. Good times.
Yeah, that was
a fun night.
I mean, we're going to go to this Cavs game in a couple weeks. I'm sure we can come up with a couple little inside tailgating, short, quick videos of us doing what we do on a Friday.
Yeah, I was telling my girlfriend. She goes, "You're going to go on a Friday night up there?" I'm like, "Oh, yes. I am already knowing that this is a dangerous game I'm putting myself into." I said, "Just prepare for me maybe not to come home that night. We'll see."
Yeah, there's a couch here if you need it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I will be prepared for that. I'm like, I would have.
You are bad. Like, you're as bad as I was when I was that age, because you're like, no, I'll stay, and then you're like, no, I'm just leaving. You just,
I do.
It's not good.
Sometimes I just try to do the Irish goodbye, and it's like, where the hell did HJ go? It's like, I'm already home.
Oh, I do that still to this day, but I do it with Ubers. I used to leave. I leave people at the bar all the time.
Yeah,
I have no problem when it's time to go. It is time to go.
Yeah, I do the typical mid-20s thing where I'm like, I'll stay up there. And then, like, it's like, I don't know, like 1 o'clock, and you're like, I want to go home. I just want to sleep in my bed.
Yeah, it's not a good decision.
Yeah, it's not.
Not a good decision.
No, it's not. No, I don't. Here's the thing. And I don't advocate that kind of stuff. I don't. If there's, like, rooms spinning and, like, I can't see straight,
I would stop now. You're still going to paint yourself in a poor light even by finishing what you're going to say.
Probably right. Just get a ride.
Yeah, there's Ubers. There's really no reason to be doing that in any way, shape, or form.
Like that commercial, that dude who's trying to drink water and he's texting himself, and it's like, oh, you think water's some magic pill?
It's not.
Really
You think it is.
It just makes you pee. That's it.
Now, look, we are responsible drinkers here at Inside Tailgating.
Correct.
They've sent me out into the field drinking plenty of times, and I had a nice ride, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, go in prepared. Like, just go prepared.
Plus, especially, like, I live in Cleveland, so me not taking an Uber if I'm going to drink is, like, beyond silly. It's not like I'm in an area where they don't have them or they're expensive. I mean, they're $8 to get around the city.
Correct. Yeah, just go prepared. No matter what. And I'm not saying that's not what I do. I go prepared, no matter what. Do what I got to do. Anywho. So, Georgia, we need more points.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I do need more points, though. Let's get one more touchdown before half.
Yeah, because that puts you – I'd like another touchdown because I don't want to have to, rely on 30 in the second half. It'd be cool to –
Oh, please.
TCU could score anything.
Incomplete. Please tell me he was in. I feel like he was out.
Oh, my God.
He was very much out. It was a great catch, but he's very out.
We don't get another touchdown before the end of this half. I'm going to start going O's. Because then you're really asking for a lot of points to be scored, and Georgia might take their foot off the gas. That's why, can TCU, we need you to do something.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe they get some garbage time points. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if I feel like I still think that TCU is going to end up somewhere in the 20s.
There you go. There you go. First down. Oh, still turning.
Boy, these guys from TCU are having trouble tackling.
See, now my thing is that an effort thing, or is that the fact that you're down 24-7? You just don't know what to do at this point.
I just think sometimes the person in front of you is better.
Yep.
That guy was hanging on him. His whole body. Like, if you look at, like, after the ball was caught, I mean, a guy wrapped him up with his entire body, and he still just can't get him on the ground. I mean, you're not. TCU's not playing teams like Georgia all year, you know?
Right.
I think we'll go to about halftime and then call it a day.
Sounds good to me.
It's a good
good test run.
Good test run. I actually like the way the layout looks. I think it looks neat.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I could do some more with it. This was just
I tried to go semi-professional. I have actually some lighting on in here.
Yeah, this is the best you've looked by far.
Oh, thank you. I originally had it set up to the side a little bit where it'd be kind of a side view, but then I was like, nah, I'd probably do front view. And then I added a light too to, make it look a little bit more.
I have all these lights on and I can't get rid of the shadow behind me. I mean, not that it's like a terrible thing, but
yeah, I also have a shadow behind me too.
I don't have those nice studio lights that go right down on top of you.
No, I do not. Actually, I kind of do. Alexa, turn the living room lamp on.
Okay.
See if that's any better.
Oh, look at that. You look like you're on fire now. Like you have a torch coming out of you.
Alexa, turn the living room lamp off.
Okay.
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 All right.
Yep. She's my servant.
One of my chinchillas is acting suspect in its cage. I don't know what it's doing. What are you doing?
You still have the two?
Yep.
Still alive.
Still here, man. They're 10 plus years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You still let them free range a little bit, or are they pretty much just...
No, they have a, I don't know if you can see this. They have like a whole setup over there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my robe and blanket on the couch that I lay with. But see, they got like a whole condo thing going on now.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember them. They used to hop around your apartment when you were living in Youngstown.
Yeah. No, they've moved up in the world a little bit. They're got their own little condominium going on.
Nice.
So that's good for them.
I just remember you telling me, you're like, don't ever get chinchillas. They live forever.
I didn't know. I'm happy I have them. I don't want anything to happen to them. But when I did get into it, you're thinking gerbil, hamster.
Right.
20 years, baby. They're like cats. You're like, oh, I'm in it to win. They're like, yeah. Like, hypothetically, these things could still be alive when I turn 50.
So they're not. I remember when you had them in Youngstown, they still had or they were in they used to like throw around their cage stuff. They don't have that anymore. Like their mulch and stuff they had, or
oh yeah, they wrecked the hell out of the inside of that cage.
Oh, okay.
It looks like Godzilla went through every night, and then I
remember you used to talk about them fighting with each other.
Oh, piss fighting, yeah. That once in a blue moon. They haven't done that in quite a while. But yeah, they get crappy with each other one time, and they defend. They're gross. I mean, that's the only thing I can say.
They're gross.
They're just gross. I love them, and they're cute, and they're fluffy, and they don't stink or anything. But their behavior, you're just like, why? Did you pee at her? What are you, some kind of asshole? Like, you just.
Is it 2 boys or a boy and a girl?
2 girls. No, I couldn't have a boy. What do you think? I'm Cruella, like gonna make 101 chinchillas over here? It'd be terrible.
Oh, 2 girls. Yeah, girls is really the way to go. We have 2 girl dogs, and I have a cat. She's a female too. Girl animals is the way to go, no matter what, because they don't mark their territory.
No,
that's nice.
No, guy cats. If you don't get them, whatever.
Yeah,
they'll stink the house up.
Now I have like our little dog. Sometimes she'll pee in the house just because she's got a tiny little bladder, and that happens. We have like one of those like shampoo or things that we use. But anyone who has, I don't understand having male animals because they come in and they just like, oh, I'm gonna pee on this corner for no reason.
This is all my stuff now. It's like awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Just follow you around with this bottle here, I guess.
Yeah, this is your house now. You gonna take my girlfriend home too, or what? Like, just come in and say, I own all this stuff.
I gave them a shoebox to mess around with. They're just all over that thing. The other odd toy that they have in there, they have a lot of toys in that little pen area, is a bobblehead of Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson together.
Okay.
So the dual bobblehead, they got one of them in there because I have a couple. They got some stuffed animals, some whatever. I would be happy if I was them because I would figure the alternative is somebody made me into mittens. So I figured this is like way better.
Yeah. That's a neat little setup they got going on.
Yeah, they got a nice little thing going on. Cheek still runs out of the cage. She still figures out ways to get out, and it turns into a comedy reel because it's like you got to go catch her, and it's like fielding a ground ball that's alive.
Right.
So
see, I don't understand how people I see people bring their animals tailgating and stuff, and I'm like, I could never I want to go have a good time and drink and stuff. I'm not going to worry about my dogs while I'm trying to have a good time. One of my favorite tailgate experiences once was, believe it or not, it was for a Browns preseason game. And it was the year that we really thought we had it all figured out, man. And
that had to have been 2019.
19,
yeah.
It was with Freddie. And we parked at the airport, and my poor girlfriend, she was the driver. And we got there. I don't remember. I think it was a preseason game. So the game started at 8:00. And I think we got there at 2:33. By the time it was time to actually walk to the stadium, I was hunched over in a lawn chair with my hand with a family-sized bag of chips, just like this. And she's like, hey, let's go. We gotta go.
Go to the game, maybe?
Yeah, you want to go to the game or what? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then, so she's like, you got to get your crap together because we got to walk through security. And I'm like, all right. So we get through there. And on the opening drive, like I said, this is the 2019. We got Odell, we got Jarvis and Baker. And it's like, all right, here we go. We have arrived. And on the first drive, we had really great seats too. It was a preseason game, so we're sitting close. Yeah. And on the first drive, I think Baker threw a nice touchdown pass to Jarvis Landry or something right in front of us. And the team, people are losing their minds, and I'm losing my mind. And then I just sit down, and I just start crying at a preseason game because I'm drunk as hell.
And you're just euphoric, too happy for your own good.
And I just have my hands, and my girlfriend's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm just like, I'm just so happy. And she's just like, Aaron, come on. I was like, we've just been so bad for so long, and we're here. We got it now. And we didn't. We went 6-10.
I think I tailgated a ton in the younger days, tons. One of the funniest was the time that I almost had to go to. I almost just destroyed myself on the bed of a truck.
Oh,
You know how you play football in the parking lot? You're having a good time throwing the ball around.
yeah, always a good time.
I'm intoxicated beyond belief, and me and this guy, I don't know who he is. We're like running pass routes in the parking lot because why wouldn't you? And I go out and I was doing a inside post.
Okay.
And I'm running. Oh, Yvette showed up. I guess we'll talk to her for a minute. And I'm running as fast as I could humanly run. And I ran right into this truck. I mean, this F-150. When I say I hit this thing, I hit it so hard that the entire parking lot, they made a noise. They were like, oh. And it was bad. I hurt so bad the next day, it was indescribable. I felt like, for real, I got hit by an NFL linebacker.
I bet.
Let's go to another guest. We got a guest, AJ.
All right.
Hey, what's going on?
I was just sitting here eavesdropping.
Yeah, we're telling tailgate stories. Ben here from Bougie Sports, doing your own thing, which is awesome. So we're telling tailgate stories, and I'm pretty sure that all of your stuff is mostly tailgating.
I don't know. Why do you think that? I'm more than just tailgating. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean,
I can't see. Am I in the picture?
Yeah, you look fine.
Okay, cool.
Yep, you look good.
All right. I can't tell. It's so small.
Make the score, or make the.
I know. I'll take that away. I'll get rid of the score. How about that?
That doesn't matter. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Yeah.
Is that a little bit better?
Oh my God, there's people. Hi.
Yeah, hi. Well, we didn't figure anybody wanted to look at us too much, so we had the score up there,
Correct.
There we go.
So did you put any bets? Did you put any bets on this game or anything?
I haven't bet yet.
No.
Well, look what happened to Bernie Kosar. I'm so scared I might lose my job.
Yeah, that poor Bernie. Good Lord.
JK.
Where is the
That's
line there? Where is the line there, by the way? If Bernie Kosar can lose his job, if we have I have a buddy of mine who does pregame for the Browns, and he's on the official radio station of the Cleveland Browns or whatever. Can he get fired for placing a bet?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's what I just did a podcast with friends, and I thought I don't know. Did he know the rules? I mean, I have no idea.
It almost sounded like, didn't he try to clear it with the team? I keep hearing these weird things he almost tried to clear it with the team and it didn't matter. I have no idea what happened. You would probably know more.
I don't all I knew I was after yesterday's Steelers, debauchery, I didn't even know really what was going on much today. Or when that happened last night, right? That he tweeted that when he got mad and got emotional. I love that he did that. So I'm not the only one that goes on Twitter and cries oh. But anyways, so I was like, oh my God. So my first initial reaction was okay, don't let me get all up Youngstown up in here. I'm who's messing with my man? And then I was thinking about it. And then somebody tweeted oh, he shouldn't have been gambling. And I was so I deleted it because I don't want to get canceled. I'm so scared to get canceled for everything. So I'm
yeah, you gotta be
wrong.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You can. And I'm okay, if he did do something wrong, because I didn't know the whole story. See how I just jumped in? I was I gotta go to Youngstown, but I didn't know he didn't do something right. So then I'm I don't know, where's the line, and did they know, or was that the real reason, or the Browns already trying to get rid of him and they're okay, well, this is the reason, put it over the edge. But either way, here's my take on it. Bernie Kosar, you don't have anything to worry about because us fans are still going to follow you no matter what you do. So you should take this as an opportunity to start a podcast about betting.
Yeah.
I know he already does. He does some podcasting with that.
And for Dixon.
That guy, he's my friend on Facebook.
Yeah.
Wow.
He came in when I was.
Everyone or something.
Yeah, when I was still doing the radio show in Youngstown, he came in and did the draft with us. And this was before, I think, AJ's time. But he came in and did the whole show with us in O'Donnell's. Yeah, in Austintown. He's really cool. And their podcast is good, and I'm sure he's going to make a lot more money doing that than working. What's he do 1 day a week for the Browns or something like that? So
he's doing it on that with that McNeil who planned the Browns.
Yeah, they're on that. I'm surprised they haven't called me yet to be on that podcast.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's put it out in the atmosphere.
We're trying.
Right. Another Georgia score. Come on.
Manifest it.
Well, tell us, because I always see all your tailgating videos, which is why I asked you.
There's only like 2 tailgating videos.
That's what I saw.
I only tailgated one game that oh wait, no.
But you do a lot of other stuff. You go out. You're all over the place, though. You're out doing different things. So tell us what you do outside of, because you got your own thing going on.
Yeah, trying to have my own thing going on. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing yet besides just making content, right? We've done podcasts before together. This is like an interest that I have that that we do the same thing. So I just feel for me, being a woman that loves sports and also being a girly girl type of personality and having to go against that because everyone's like, oh, you don't really like sports. And that's why I came up with the Bougie Sports, because we are different fans. Like all sports fan fits inside a certain type of box. And yeah, you can literally rock some stilettos and still win your fantasy football league. I can show you how to do it. So yeah, so that's what I want to do. And there's so many other I think there's so many people out there doing different things, which I think is great because I think there's something out there for everyone. And what I want to do is like a little bit more different because I got Youngstown in me, So we're built a little bit different. So it's more about I want to hear about the fans and other things, not about same shit that everyone talks. Are we allowed to swear on this one or no? I wasn't allowed to swear.
You can let it fly a little bit. Okay. Sure.
Just the A word, right?
Yeah, we've said. I don't think I said them all except the F one. We've kind of laid off that one. The other ones have went.
Yeah, as long as it's natural, I would say. As long as it's not forced.
Well, and I mean, your stuff. Weren't you doing fantasy football correspondence for the NFL Network for a while?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they just let anybody on the NFL Network unless they kind of know what they're talking about,
True.
I'm still having to prove myself out here every day. But hey, it's okay.
No, it's fun though. I mean, it's fun to make content. It's fun to put things out there. I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to do here with Inside Tailgating is, just trying to figure out different ways. When did you guys
start this? How come this is the first time that I'm on Inside Tailgating?
Because this is the first time we've ever done this.
Oh, okay, well then pass.
So you should be ecstatic because you were the first actual guest.
Yes! Oh my, I'm so ecstatic. See? I didn't even get to say that. Hold on, I gotta pour something in my drink. I can still hear you guys.
So the idea is I was, doing stuff for Inside Tailgating probably about 5 years ago, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago. And I kind of stopped doing stuff because I had to grow up and go get a real job because that's life. So I got to work at a bank because, it's a real job. And then just out of, boredom, I've just been seeing so many people. They're doing all these live streams. They're doing all these watch-along parties.
Why not me?
Yeah, and I thought, well, why don't we get Inside Tailgating and then see if we can kind of, over time, then, these things, they fall before they do anything else.
On the ground correspondent for you. Talking to the people,
Well, that's going to be hopefully the goal is at some point, and this is kind of this is more of a pilot run. I didn't put too much out there or anything, just maybe a tweet. But I think it'd be cool to eventually be able to do this in locations, whether we're at a bar, whether we're at the uni lot or whatever else, or if we're in Pittsburgh, it doesn't matter. And the other thing is because you can have guests, I'd like to get to the point where if we're doing a live stream during the NFL playoffs, okay, we're going to link up with somebody who's tailgating with the Bills Mafia and then bring them on. Go through a table. Go do whatever you do.
I love that.
Just trying to figure. These are all excuses for me to figure out a way to just go out and party and feel like I'm
I know.
doing something productive.
I think about stuff like that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be such a fun idea. I need to do that. But then the other things like get in the way, like real jobs and shit stuff.
They do. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Take up most of my time and it's ridiculous.
So actually something that I think that's fun that I'm doing is I'm going to a couple of like man caves, like Brown's man caves of people
nice.
that, yeah. Because see, would you be interested in watching something like that?
Sure.
Like different, that's the kind of that's what I'm trying to do too. Like other stuff, like yeah.
Well, you were doing some stuff with local businesses too, weren't you? Don't you have some things going on with different companies around Cleveland? I saw.
Yeah.
How do you even set? Like, how do you even set that up? You just reach out. I'm not saying give away all your secrets, but just for
no
conversation
like
purpose.
homage, for example, or like GV artwork.
Yeah, whoever.
All right, so for GV artwork, I reached out to them. I was like, that's when I first decided I want to do a podcast, and I'm like, what do I want to do? And that's like the stuff that I want to do. I'm like, I want to talk to people, like, especially when it comes to fashion, because I like fashion. I think sports and fashion go hand in hand. So I just wrote them on Twitter. I was like, can I come to the store and interview you guys, or interview I didn't expect to interview them. And he like immediately wrote me back. He's like, yeah, come on in. It was like the next day. I'm like, oh shit. So I had to go buy a GoPro because I didn't even have a GoPro or anything. I'm like, oh man. I didn't
Oh, no shoot. He said yes. Oh crap.
Yeah, I did. I went to Best Buy the night before, bought a GoPro, and did that the next day. So yeah. And with homage, I love Kevin, who there's the social media director there. He kind of got a hold of me. The one time he wrote me on Twitter and was like, oh, thank you, for wearing our clothes. We'd like to send you something if you send me your address. So I was like, okay. That's how that love affair started.
So that's good. You just put yourself out there. Look, all these places are going to do is say no. Right. I've walked into bars. Me and AJ. I mean, we're going out. We were putting together an NFL, stream for the draft. When we were doing 1240, we just asked, and people are like, "Oh yeah," like it's something. I think you get this impression that people don't want to do nothing, or especially if it's not really costing them anything. People love that kind of stuff. So
yeah, that was fun. That was the night we drafted Baker Mayfield.
That was, and we both made the same face at the same time.
Yes,
are you wearing an homage shirt right now?
Me, I'm not. No, this is like an old school Cleveland Indians shirt.
I have that same shirt. That's from like JC. That's from like Macy's. I think that's where I got mine.
Yeah, my fit is an old school Indian shirt and basketball shorts that I don't wear in public. That's my fit tonight.
I actually have pajama pants on.
I switched into another outfit. Let me show you guys what I was wearing in the last podcast, because I was gonna not change, but I'm like my theme is on my clothes, so I have to.
Yeah, that's part of your,
Yeah, that's my shtick. That's
your gimmick. You gotta live the gimmick, as they say in the wrestling industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
I
nice.
Phoenix Sensors. Oh my gosh, you should see all the vintage stuff I have. I have been hooking up with a lot of vintage, like My Cousin Vintage. There's a lot of other vintage shops that I've started relationships with, and I've been going there and getting like hooked up on old. And now I'm like all about 80s and 90s clothes. Can you imagine that? The shit stuff we threw away. Unbelievable.
Oh, I used to have a Tim Duncan jersey. Probably didn't need to get rid of that.
Probably not. No.
I think the weirdest jersey I ever. Where I used to get jerseys is I think it was Value City. Used to have random jerseys. Yep. I had a Boomer Esiason Cardinals jersey. It was like $8.
I love going to like Burlington and getting a like $10 brown shirt and cutting it up or something.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's what they're good for anyway.
Yeah.
I had my mom's boyfriend. He's not the biggest football fan, but week one he was like, I want to fit in. I went over to her place to watch the game and hang out with some of my siblings, and he came out. He's from Arizona, and he came out in an old school Kurt Warner Arizona jersey.
Oh,
and I was like, man,
he must have bought that when they're playing the Steelers.
What's that?
Didn't they were playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl?
The card, yeah. And I was like, man, Steve, that's an old school jersey, man. He's like, I actually forgot I even had this jersey. And I was like, I wish I was like you, just not
Yeah.
caring whatsoever about sports or football or anything, and just being like, oh, I didn't even know I had this jersey.
Yeah. This
You
whole
know?
thing.
Who knew?
Yeah,
Exactly.
right?
Oh. What was the other podcast you were doing? Were you talking Brown stuff? I think we got all of our Brown stuff. We had a pretty good time.
Yeah, we
What,
did.
earlier?
Yep.
Yeah, we got that out of our system earlier on.
I give you credit for
Yeah,
still
we
wearing a
talked
Nick
about
Chubb jersey
Brown.
after that game yesterday.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said I give you credit for still wearing a Browns jersey after that atrocity.
I changed. I told you I had my, like, I was just like,
You had the Barkley jersey on. Well, she put a Browns jersey back on, though. So that's dedication.
Yeah, I didn't want to, like, have the same look in both podcasts.
No, you can't.
No, I can't run them on the same day. Then, yeah.
No, that's then your cover's blown. Then they know.
Absolutely.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So we talked about it earlier, and since basically we hijacked most of this just to get our feelings out about our football team, because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
We know Joe Woods, he's out the door, and then we're kind of just in the middle with Stefanski. Like, we know he's there. I'm not going to sit here and overly argue for or against him, but it just kind of seems like if they did do a rash decision, which Jimmy Haslam, man, he'll do that. He'll come out once in a while and just do some crazy things,
He's a fan.
Yeah. So, I mean, are you happy Stefanski's coming back? You upset, or you just like it is what it is? We'll see what happens.
I don't expect him to not come back this season.
Well, he is. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
But are you fine with that, or are you thinking
I'm fine with it because I'm like I hate like the let's go fire everyone as soon as things go down. I kind of want to bring back like the complimentary football, Kevin Stefanski. I don't know. I what gets me is like I understand like a couple of play calls were being like, oh, what was that about? But when after every game, I'm like, what the did I just see? Dude, what's wrong with you? It's like, oh, but I don't know who to blame. Bring him back. He's hot. At least we have something to look at.
Yeah, he's better looking Freddie Kitchens.
You have it. There you have it.
Freddie,
he's a good looking guy.
He played with the cards he was dealt.
Well, he was
I think it's all about Deshaun Watson anyways. I mean, that's if they have a good relationship, I think that's all that matters because I think we put all our money into Deshaun Watson, so he has to work. And I believe he is going to work. I don't think we've given him enough time. I don't know I didn't know what you guys think about this, but my feelings are with him. It's like, I think that we will, even if little glimpses of Deshaun Watson, I could tell that he's coming back. I think he needs more time. I do. I think next year it's going to be, I think that like, this is the best thing that happened. I was trying to think of like, okay, how can I make this positive about the Steelers? Because I hate them so freaking, like, to me, beating the Steelers is like the Super Bowl. I don't care. Yeah, they live in my head forever. Whatever you guys want to say. It doesn't really matter. I just hate them that bad. Like, I hate them. Anywho, I'm kind of glad that he got sacked 7 times, 18 million times, because I want him to remember that this offseason. I don't want him to remember like, oh, we kicked the butts or whatever. I want him to be like, I got sacked 7 times. And I hope to God, if anything, that this is a quarterback for us that actually wants to win. And that really does bother him. I guess he's staying in Cleveland all year. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, he's staying here.
I wonder if he has to, though.
Yeah. Probably not. But I think, and it's, I actually, AJ and I were talking before, and we were talking about, well, what do you think his rust going to be like? I'm like, a game or two. And I didn't think he would turn into 4,500 yard passing to Deshaun Watson by the end of the year. But I thought he would be at least a little bit above maybe what Brissett was doing. And Brissett was playing pretty well for what he can do.
He's a top 10 quarterback statistically. Yeah,
and I was thinking, all right, well, if by, third, second game in, we're somewhere around there, we're in good shape. That was not the case. He was as bad as it could be outside of a brief spell against the Commanders, and everything looked hard. And you can just see, when he's in the pocket. And I know that coming from Houston, he does hang up. Like, people are going to start really looking at that going, he hangs on to the ball too long. That's what he does, though. I mean, a lot of his stuff, a lot of his yardage comes from the fact that he can do that jailbreak schoolyard system.
Right.
But in Stefanski's offense, his is all timing and rhythm. And you could see times where the game it was not slowing down for him. He's in the pocket. He's unsure because he'd get flat-footed. And he'd stop, and he looks, and he's trying to get out of the pocket now, and he's going backwards instead of up into it. And, you can look at some film and go, oh, this guy here, there. So that's really what I was sort of surprised about, was I thought the rust would be sort of like in his first half against Houston, where he was throwing the ball into the ground. Like, I was more thinking it would be like that, like he just doesn't have his timing. I didn't think the game would be that sped up for him right now. So I'm hoping with the offseason that slows down and he can get back into that, getting the ball out under 3 seconds. Or if he is going to sit there, for a little longer, get out of there and go into your schoolyard system. Don't wait. So that was the one thing that I kind of was like, ooh, I didn't expect that. Was it just didn't seem like the game was slow for him like it was when he was in Houston or the last couple of years there. So that was the only thing that made me go, oh, man, because if you can't ever get that timing back and if you can't process it like you used to, and I think he still can. He's a really smart guy when you hear him talk football.
If he doesn't work, we're doomed. So we have to believe that it's going to click. So that's like where my head is. 2 games, that's not a lot. I mean, he was gone for 2 years?
Year and a half, 2. Yeah, so it's 2 seasons.
2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, about 2 seasons. A season and 11 games.
I really don't remember. He was never my fantasy quarterback, and I just really get obsessed with Browns players. So I really didn't, or my fantasy players and Browns players. And since he was none till now, I'm not too familiar about him. The only good, I watched his good tape, just as, and it's wow.
It's
then you
great.
can see when I was, I'm like, okay, I could see where they paid him the money. So I want to see that. I hope we can see that. I think that if you're that good though, you can't lose that. You just don't lose that, because he was at that caliber where it's not all those practices and all that money mommy and daddy spent got you there. No, you were just, to me, in my opinion, you're just born like that. Some people are just really freaking good. You're just good, and he's one of those. And hopefully, he has to be for us to. Kenny Pickett, small hands Pickett. He didn't even go 50%. They won. That's disgusting. It's enough. Enough is enough. They need to beat them. Seriously.
I guess where my fear comes, though, is 2 things. Twofold. One, you really better hope it works with Stefanski, because I agree. I think Deshaun Watson is that guy, and I think he can get back to where he was when he was with the Texans. The problem is, though, I fear of, if Stefanski's not the guy and you start the year 1-4, then boy, you're really you're basically wasting a whole nother year, because you're going to fire him and then you're going to have an interim guy, maybe Brian Flores. And then it's going to be well, are we going to hire him then? Is he going to be our coach? And it's going to be just like when we fired Hugh and then we had Greg Williams as our interim head coach. Then we ended up making a decision to hire Freddie. That was a disaster. The quarterback regressed, and it was a whole disaster. So that's where my fear is. And then my other side of that fear is Deshaun Watson is good. The problem is that offensive line with Deshaun Watson has not been good. And I have fears of, remember, when he was in Houston, they went 4-12. And part of the reason was because he didn't have a good offensive line and he didn't have time to throw the ball. And I just fear, I really don't want this to turn into Houston North, where it's yeah, Deshaun Watson's good.
Well, he still put up tremendous numbers. I mean, his last year at Houston, he threw nearly 5,000 yards. I mean, he went nuts, but the team, you're right, went 4-12.
Right. And
that's
my fear.
I stopped when you said 1-4. As soon as you're just imagine next season if we could start off 1-4. And I'm oh, because it could happen.
That's
sure.
Did you see that happening? Oh my God. How miserable would be that?
if the Browns came out tomorrow, and they're not, obviously, they fired Joe Woods. He's their scapegoat. I mean, it was time for him to go anyway.
He wasn't good at his job anyway.
He wasn't, but
Yeah.
obviously they knew they wouldn't have fired Joe Woods first. If they were going to fire Kevin, they would have done it already. So clearly,
No, Kevin's staying. That ain't a thing. I mean,
but that's why I said yesterday after we lost, I said, you know what? I like Kevin. I want him to work. I don't like firing coaches. But if the Browns would have parted ways with him yesterday, I wouldn't have been as upset as I think some Browns fans would have been because of that fear. Like I just said, if you go into next year and you start 1-4, it's like.
I just don't understand what the missing pieces. I guess we didn't get to see the full puzzle because we have everything now. We had the roster. I thought we had the coach. I thought we had all the ingredients.
Well, we're going to find out because this is going to be year 3. If you go back to 2021, the year after we made the playoffs, Baker and this offense, it kind of looked the same. They didn't score a ton. Things looked hard. Then you come into this year with Brissett, still kind of like the same. Things look a little hard. It doesn't flow very well. Then Watson gets in, and it looks the same. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, if Kevin Stefanski should probably try to get with somebody to, let's say, modernize his system. Because this personnel with these tight ends and the stuff he wanted to do in Minnesota, that's not what you have. You have a Deshaun Watson, and he needs to be let to do his thing, And
that's part of the reason.
He wants to be in shotgun. Stefanski likes to be under center, because he can base everything off the play action and rolling out and doing your 3 reads, or it's time, man. You got Deshaun Watson out. If you want him to be worth what you're giving him, he can't be throwing for 200 yards a game and this and that. I mean, you're gonna have to somehow put an offense together now where we're moving the ball, we're throwing it downfield. I don't even think Watson took more than 2 or 3 attempts over 20 yards downfield. Brissett took more than that.
Right.
So I don't know. We need it to work. If that's right. If this doesn't work, we're toast for a long time.
There's I feel like the Browns are kind of breaking the fourth wall for the whole NFL because all the dirt is starting to come out for Jadeveon Clowney, for instance. Why? Why all that drama? That needs to stop too. And who's causing that? Is it Kevin Stefanski? I think we need to bring somebody in that the players respect too, and that they're scared. I want someone that brings them in. And they're like, yes, that's what we need. Whip them into shape.
And that's
yeah.
I think
that's what I want.
That's a culture problem, and that's on Kevin Stefanski, and that's why I told Ryan, him and I were talking yesterday. I said, few things I'd like to see happen in this offseason. One was to fire Joe Woods, and they already did that. I said that I would want them to bring in a Brian Flores type guy, and I want play calling taken away from Kevin. And the reason I say that is because I think he is so live and die by that play sheet that you are too distracted from everything else around you, which is the fact that, man, you got players who don't respect you. You have players that don't respect each other. That's a culture problem. And that
can kill the team.
Absolutely. You need to focus more on being the head coach of the Cleveland Browns than you need on that play sheet. And listen, I know guys can do it. Look at Sean McVay. He can call plays and he can win Super Bowls, and that's cool. Guys can do that. I don't think Kevin can do. This isn't Kevin's first rodeo where we have issues with players, whether it's Clowney, whether it's Odell. Let's not forget Stephon Diggs wasn't a fan of Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, really? That's
why he's in Buffalo now. I mean, there was a problem.
Of Kevin Stefanski?
Well, part of it was because he wouldn't get the ball in Minnesota because Kevin.
I think Stefanski might already been gone though when he got traded.
I don't think so, Ryan. If I remember correctly, I thought he was there, and when Stephon Diggs was traded from Minnesota.
Oh, you could be right. I don't know.
I think so, only because I remember Adam Thielen. Remember how big he was? That was under Kevin Stefanski's offense.
Oh yeah.
He's a tight end guy. I'm pretty sure he played tight end in college. Like that's his bread and butter, man. And
we need another wideout.
Oh yeah,
we need a lot of things.
Bad.
Yeah, we need a lot.
I want a Wes Welker, Tom Brady combo. That's what we need. We need like that double duo or like Travis Kelce. Oh, that's a tight end. No, we don't. Or if we had Travis Kelce.
I wish we had Travis Kelce. He's from Cleveland. Come on home, man. You're done. You played with Mahomes long enough. It's time to come home.
Yeah, but I don't know.
The culture's
I agree.
a big thing.
Get an offensive coordinator. Take the points.
I wouldn't be surprised. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they ended up with a new offensive coordinator.
You think so?
Yeah, they could. At some point in time, I don't think it's a matter of if play calling were to change, it wouldn't be the organization telling Stefanski he can't do it. Because don't forget, Stefanski was hired before pretty much anybody else. So Andrew Berry's not going to tell him you can't call plays. He'll be like, I was here before. Are you kidding me? And they brought him here to do that. Like, as much as we don't like it, like if he's not running his offense and calling plays, what are you doing with it? So I think he could willingly do it. If he brought in an offensive coordinator to run maybe an update or a different kind of system, and he trusted the guy enough, I think he would let the person call the plays. And I think sometimes it's easier if Kevin Stefanski just has the self-awareness that sometimes many people in all facets of life don't have, and just have that self-awareness and go, this doesn't work. I'm not going to be an NFL coach ever again, more than likely. So you have to swallow a little bit of your pride and think, what would be the best thing? Well, if I bring in a guy I trust and he calls the plays, well, now I can maybe go talk to the defense, or maybe I can do this, or maybe I just spend more time in their meeting room. Maybe I spend more time seeing what their philosophy is this week against who we're playing. Because right now it's his whole week's the game plan because he's.
Well, maybe that's why this is from the exact opposite of what you're saying. Maybe that's why he wants to bring in a guy like Brian Flores for his defense, because you bring in a guy like that, you don't have to worry about the defense. In my opinion, I think that's a guy who I think Kevin, again, lives and dies by playing, by calling plays. He maybe thinks in his head, well, maybe if I do bring in these guys that have been head coaches in the past who can handle their position well and, handle the defense, I don't have to worry about that. And, I can worry about what I'm doing with my offense. And then Brian Flores in the defense, like that's that, you know what I mean? Like Joe Woods isn't a guy. I didn't even know who Joe Woods was before he came here, to be honest. So, but I know who Brian Flores is. And I think you bring him in, man. I think you could see a culture change for sure.
You'll see an attitude change on defense that we really need.
We really need.
That's the side of the ball you got to be crazy on. Like offense, cool. You can use that cool, calm, collected Stefanski approach on offense because you need to be, because there's a lot going on and you got to know where you're supposed to be. Defense is like, we're in man, and you just got to react. Defense is all you're reacting to what's in front of you. So that's where you can be crazy because you're reacting. And if you're nuts, why did we like watching? If you're a Steeler fan, you liked watching Troy go crazy because he had free reign. He just reacted to everything, and he was great. Same thing with Reed in Baltimore. We don't have guys like to do that stuff yet. Hopefully, maybe. But if you get a guy like Flores in here or somebody in that kind of mold where he's a more intense guy, that doesn't mean these players we have, once that mindset, that shift happens, they can't become that. So that we should probably draft a couple guys like linebackers who are grown. That'd be cool. Like our linebackers look like safeties half the time, and it's so a couple adults on the defensive line and maybe a linebacker, and I think you could see a decent, progress in the defense this year.
Let's hope.
And not only do you not have you have a culture problem, you have a leadership problem too, man. And that's the part that really frustrates me. Listen, I'm not in that locker room, so I don't know. But I don't feel like you have a lot of vocal leaders. I don't think Myles Garrett's a big vocal leader. I don't think Denzel Ward's a big vocal leader. But you're paying them like they are, and I think that's a problem in itself too. And maybe they are.
Absolutely, we need Jarvis Landry back for that kind of like.
Yeah, I think Watson will actually do that next year. I think Watson will be that guy.
Me too.
He was in a weird spot.
I feel like Deshaun Watson.
He wasn't in a position this go around to really, but I think you're going to see that
Me too. And I
version
think
of
the
Watson
players do like.
next.
I do. They think they like him.
And they like him, and they'll listen to him. They will.
Good. I want. That's how a quarterback should be.
Because here's the thing: like we know that Stefanski's attitude is, he's Kevin. He's a very calm demeanor. He's never going to go overboard. He's probably never going to get too high or low, even behind the scenes. Maybe he screams and throws chairs. I've never heard it, so I'm guessing no. But and then what happens is he can be that way if Deshaun Watson is now in charge of the leadership role of the offense, and he's like, "This is how we're going to do it." This is how we're going to do it. These are the way I expect the offense to run and us to practice and all that good stuff. And, he takes the team in off-season trips to practice and things like that. So, and I think that's so if we're going to play the When You Wish Upon a Star game, which is the best game you can play with the Browns every year. Every time around this time of year, you start singing that damn When You Wish Upon a Star song, just looking out the window.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to hope. You got to hope they get the defensive guy in here that can turn the defense into mania. Like, let's see some. I don't mean like Greg Williams maniacs, like we're hurting guys like idiots, but like we're fiery. Like the Steelers defense. Do you see them? I'm terrified of them on television. I'm like, I don't want no part. Like Cam Hayward, no.
Yeah.
No want. Get out of here. Like, I want our defense to be like that. Like,
which you would think on paper they could be.
Well, when you don't have the leadership, you're not sure of your scheme. You see the same secondary issues week 1 to week 18. Players lose faith because they want to win games and make money. That's it. That's all they want out of a head coach or coordinator. Are we going to win games or am I going to get paid, whether it's here or somewhere else? And if they think for 1 minute you can't do one or those things, see ya. So that's what we got to hope. We get the defense gets an attitude, and if Watson can assume that leadership role that we hope he can, it might be okay.
And I think so because at least we know where we're going. We have a quarterback, right? So we're not going to talk about that in the offseason. So at least like now we could prepare. I mean, I couldn't imagine like how that must have felt though for everybody. We had no idea what was happening, when he was going to come back, if he was able to play. This whole team,
but
this whole year.
Don't let them turn it into an excuse because they got way better quarterback play out of Brissett than they thought they would.
Oh God, are you guys like Victor? Oh, Jacoby. You guys like?
No, I think that they thought that he wasn't going to be as good as he was for what he is.
I think that he's the best leader on the team, and I wish he could lead the team. To be honest,
if he was 25% better, he would. He'd be making $28 million a year if he was like 25% better.
But
Honestly,
he likes Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson respects him, and I like to see that too. Like I like the way Deshaun. You could just tell the way that he's. Do you think they'll keep him or no? Is he gone? Brissett.
If he can't get another starting job, I see no other reason why you should offer him a contract. If he can get a starting job, he should go do that. If he can't, he should be back.
Yeah. Would you guys do it all over again and keep Baker and not any of this?
I was over Baker before Deshaun Watson was even a thought. My original plan was trade for Garoppolo and draft Pickett.
Derek Carr.
Or Derek Carr. I think Garoppolo would have been cheaper to get, easier.
He's old though. He's like what?
Well, I only needed him for like 1 year. I was going to draft Kenny Pickett. And let Garoppolo or somebody let Garoppolo play and go on with it. But I mean, they chose the nuclear option, which hey,
Ryan knows I jumped on board with Baker. And,
boy, did you! I tried so hard.
You were on board too for a while. You were there.
So I wasn't.
Right. I jumped when he threw 4 picks against the Packers on Christmas Day. I was at home with COVID, no doubt, which made it even worse. On Christmas Day, I remember just going, and I'll tell you a story too. Coincidentally, I went, all right, that's it. I'm done. I'm off. I can't do it anymore. And then coincidentally enough, a year later, I have a friend of mine who's a huge Dolphins fan, and he loves Tua, like lived and died by Tua. Sure enough, Christmas Day, the Dolphins are playing the Packers, and I think Tua threw like 2 or 3 picks, and he was like, yeah, I'm done. And I was like, man, I'm here for you, dude. I am here for you. I said, I told him exactly what I told you. I'm like, Christmas Day a year ago, coincidentally enough, against the Packers, with Baker threw 4 picks. It was a dark day in my house when I had to go. He's just not the guy.
Yeah. I'd accept that. I rode on Baker till they got rid of him. And then I'm like, okay, you're done. I like Deshaun Watson. Because I'm just like a Browns person. I'm like, I don't care.
And it wasn't just a talent thing with him. Baker he was a locker room problem. I mean,
that was like
more. I can't wait to hear this. I need to hear what's going on. Because there's a bigger story there too with Baker. I wonder why. I don't think he really was that good either.
Oh no, he's not good. He's very, very average at best.
Yes,
and he's proven that everywhere he's been. Like it's weird because when you have people who can't accept fact, it's tough. And people can't accept facts in reality with a lot of things, not just sports. And it's like, I feel bad for the diehard fans because it makes me or AJ or you sound like a jerk because you're like, well, he's just not good. And, you had attitude. And they're like, oh, you're a hater. You just want to hate. I'm like, no, we'll sit down together and we'll watch film and I'll show you why he sucks. And it's like, you can't. And then wait till he goes to Carolina. Well, we saw that.
Oh, my God.
That worked. Then he goes to the Rams. And you wait now, Sean McVay. And he had like one good drive against the Raiders who weren't prepared to play football. And then he was terrible against Green Bay. And then they scored 50-some points. However, Baker's numbers, he threw for like 200 yards. So he was just there, which is like all his good games when he was in Cleveland looked like that. Like Baker's got it. Oh, what did he do? He went 20 for 24 for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's like, cool. And then in his last game, just fitting with the Rams is, if the Rams win that game and beat Seattle, then the Sunday night game, Detroit has a chance to go to the playoffs. And Baker Mayfield in overtime has a receiver as open as you've ever seen a wide receiver down the field. And the announcer's like, oh, he's wide open. And they're showing the receiver, and the ball's not there. And I'm like, oh, Baker got him. Because I wanted the Lions to have a chance to go to the playoffs because I thought they deserved it. So I'm rooting for Baker. And I'm he's wide open, and I'm waiting. And they're showing the receiver, and he's like, and he starts turning, and the ball isn't there. And I'm like, where's the ball? The safety's just like, he threw it 45 minutes late and lost the game. And it's like, this is why I get mad because it's like, if I don't hate the guy. He's fine. He don't bother me. But it's like, it makes me sound like I'm some hateful idiot because I got to you got to argue with people that think that's good. And I don't know. It drives me up the wall.
I wanted Baker Mayfield that year at that draft. I was so happy that we drafted. You know who I didn't want? I was like, I really don't want that Josh Allen kid.
I didn't either.
With the Browns would have killed him though. He wouldn't have been the same. I don't think.
I kind of agree. I don't know if he could have survived here.
He's not
Baker Mayfield made it 4 years.
Attitude. He's not Browns. He doesn't give massages. He doesn't do.
No, I like Josh. I think Josh Allen would have been fine. That's the other thing too. Is like, if you're going to use the mindset that we would have ruined him, then in that case we should just fold the franchise. Because what are we supposed to do? So, and I will say that if Baker Mayfield hung on for 4 years as our starter with 94 coaches, Josh Allen would have been just fine. If Baker Mayfield got through that, Allen would have too.
True that.
So Georgia TCU.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see any of that game.
It's 38-7, so there's really nothing more for us to talk about it.
But we really need TCU to score some points because I bet the over. And
we both bet the over.
I haven't bet yet. I told you guys.
Well, they were giving out free money on FanDuel and
DraftKings
and all week.
Yeah, I know. I'm scared
points
I'll like it too much. Look at what happens to me in fantasy football. I was like, oh, let me try playing fantasy football. That sounds fun. 10 years later. I don't want to do that.
You gotta watch how you don't end up with a problem putting bets on.
No, I don't like that. Yeah, but still, yeah. Sundays
That is
are
way
already-
too easy for you to like lose all your money. Is like
Yeah.
you can just do it on your phone, betting on like the Suns for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Although the Cavs, I'm just trying to get a game next weekend.
We're
I'm
going
going
on.
to
We're going
20th.
next weekend.
The
Well, 2
21st.
weeks.
I mean the 20. I meant the 20th and 21st. It's my birthday weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're
Well,
going.
come on up. We'll do some live inside tailgating, getting bombed up on East 4th before the game.
I was gonna say next time we do a podcast, we should do it somewhere.
That's
Wow.
the goal. That's what I'd like to do. I want to be able to do this out at places.
We're going to be at the Warriors Cavs game next Friday night.
Yeah.
20th.
And then Saturday they play someone else, right?
The Clippers, I think.
Yeah.
I got a dog sit the next day, so I don't think I'll be going to that one. Plus, I'll probably be hungover because AJ kills me at these games. He's young and spry and has energy and
We have a good time.
drink like
Are
a
we
fool.
still live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
probably
I
not
was
for too
gonna
much
say
longer.
something, but I'm not.
Save it for off the air if it's going to get me in trouble.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
There you
So
go.
this is
Maybe
your
we can.
first.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Awesome.
So, like I said, this is like a pilot episode, so I wasn't too worried about viewers. I didn't even really put anything out there. But because everything works and it kind of looks decent, like the broadcast kind of looks nice enough.
Yeah, that's
Ryan,
I think
your over might have just hit. I don't know.
well. You
I
should
think
have
mine-
wait. I'll tell you, Rays, when we're off. I gotta go anyways. It's starting to get late. Not early, but yeah.
okay. All right. Well, do you want to call it a day, AJ?
That's up to you, man. It's your show. I'm just part of it.
Yeah, I think we did good. I think we
Right.
did about 2 hours, 20 minutes. I think that's a good starting point. So
I'm
and then
good.
we'll maybe do something this weekend for the playoffs. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the reviews are from the people in charge of the old tailgating company. They might tell me we're going to change all our passwords. Nice job.
Right?
You're never doing this again. All right. Well, thanks for the few people that